if you call me and I have watched your video and you want to recruit me, it's going to be easier. We're going to have an easier conversation because I already like, know, and trust you.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Influencers, where we bring you professionals who share insight into the latest trends, tips, industry technology, and services to help you be a mortgage influencer in your mortgage business.
There's 4 of us. It's all good.
Cool. Yeah.
There we go. And today there is 4 of us. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday. So that means it's another episode of Mortgage Influencers. My name's Ginger Bell, and I'm delighted to have my co-hosts with me again. All the gang's all here. Steve, welcome back. Steve Richmond, who has been traveling across the country, speaking at so many events. I'm excited to hear about that. And Scott Schang, our resident AI expert. And then our special guest, who's a very dear friend of mine, Danny Ruiz. So Danny, thanks so much for joining us today. And
Thank
Danny,
you.
Howard, you're calling in today from Florida. So
Yes.
how are you on your side of Florida for the hurricane?
It's not that bad. I'm on the north of Tampa, Wesley Chapel, Pasco County, and just breeze and winds here and there, drizzling. But in the Tampa Bay area, is flooded right now, and I have heard about Pinellas County, Clearwater, so those areas are more affected. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, we're recording this the end of August 2023. And yeah, we've had a lot of weather this summer, definitely that. So for those of you who are on live in Florida, we're thinking about you and wishing you the best. But storms come and storms go, and that's kind of like how social media is, right? It's like it's constantly changing. So, Danny, I'm going to give a little bit of background. So Danny has an amazing story, really, how you just got started into the mortgage industry. And I know you started in Puerto Rico and went through some serious downturns in Puerto Rico, and then moved to the States and continued to do mortgages here. And then you fell into really this opportunity of social media, and you found your niche in doing TikTok videos. And when Danny first approached me as far as doing TikTok, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's your demographic. I think it's too young. And this was almost a year and a half ago. We're coming up on 2 years, Danny, in November, right?
Yep, that's right.
And Danny said, I'm going to go for it anyway. And he did. So tell us kind of what that was like for you and your journey.
Well, it opened my eyes, the opportunity of doing TikTok as well. But I went online and I checked on YouTube more information on what about how does TikTok can improve my business. And I listened to this video where this lady was talking about the statistics of most people scrolling through their phone, spending around 52 minutes per day. And that was back on 2021. For sure that has gone up. And I said, like, you know what? Now I see that also Facebook included the Reels, the short form content. So I said, like, hey, if this is happening, this is evolving, is due to a reason, right? So I said, like, let me try this. And when I started on this new community, out of your circle, your closest friends, like Facebook, right? So when I started posting about educational content regarding mortgage, how can you buy a home, how you should do it, what you will be required to qualify, I started receiving many comments, people asking for more information. People was begging me, right, about how can they buy a home. They don't, and they started asking me more questions related to the content I was posting. So I said, like, hey, this is the best thing I have done, because I had the fear, or I was shy of being on TikTok because I thought that it was for kids and people dancing. But when I started using it, I saw that I am learning so much of things of my interest that I have learned in the past. Like now I know about crypto, I know about investment, the stock market, all the things that I like. And I feel like now, instead of using YouTube to find information for something, I'm using more TikTok. And why is the reason of that? Because sometimes the long format of videos, probably you are listening the first 10 minutes and I haven't even started talking about the topic that I want to hear.
Right.
So on TikTok, you have 3 minutes. Now they open it to up
9.
to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But just listening to some topics, probably 4 videos of 3 minutes, I have all the information that I need to make a decision, a buying decision. So, and I have seen that on and on. So it is important to be everywhere. I'm not saying that being on YouTube, you need to be in YouTube. I think that YouTube is the hierarchy, is like the top, because people start like on what YouTube does is that create credibility on you. You are a trusted person if you are on YouTube. That's what how I is my opinion on that. And then you can be in different platforms, and I have seen that people start like, they like your content, but when it's something like very serious, like buying a home, my finances, my social security, my credit score, they are starting to look in other channels to see if you are real, that you have been, you know, and so you need to be in much as you can, right?
Well, and crossing over, and I think that's so important, because when you and I first met, you were doing videos and you wanted to get onto YouTube. And so you started on YouTube, then went to TikTok, kind of got off of YouTube. Now you're back on YouTube again, because it is that combination of that long form, short form that is important. So, you know, when you think about strategy and you say, okay, I'm going to use the short form, I'm going to start on TikTok. And honestly, guys, if you're doing it, and you do such a great job of this, Danny, it goes on to TikTok. Also, it goes on to Insta. Also, it goes on to your Reels on Facebook. You can put it onto LinkedIn. You can put a link onto Twitter. I mean, it's like, if you're doing it once, put it on several. Now, some of our social media people are like, it needs to be different for each different channel. It's like, you know what? I don't subscribe to that, because I just want you to get your content out there and be able to have it available. And then also the credibility. So YouTube gives you that credibility because they can search you, they can find you there, and they may not be following you on TikTok. So having those cross channels are important. The other thing, as far as building credibility, is other things you can do. So Danny came to me and said, I want to write a book on how to do TikTok. And so he did that. And so I helped him write the book. And I put some, you know, different topics in there as far as what they could do. We put it onto Amazon, and I think you hit 2 or 3 bestseller lists on that. That expands your credibility, right? So now people can see you on TikTok, and I don't know how much you're doing as far as promoting your book on TikTok. You should be promoting it. But then they can go to Amazon. It's like, oh my gosh, he's an author on Amazon. What does that do? Increases the credibility, right?
Absolutely.
I'm raising
Has
my
a
hand.
question.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand. I just want to build on something that you said, because I've heard it, and I'm in both of your camps. I hear all the time that there's such different medium, Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, and you have different audience, so you need a different message on each one. I think for what we do, it's the same person. I'm targeting the same person on each of those platforms, so I can use the same content. I do agree, if you're like, okay, I'm going after business associates on LinkedIn and I'm going after consumers on TikTok, yes, that's a different message. But if you're going after the same target market on each platform, you can use the same exact messaging. So I agree with what you all are saying, versus some of the other experts that say, now you got to cut 4 different videos for 4 different platforms. That I disagree with that. I'm agreeing with you, Ginger, but then again, who doesn't agree with Ginger?
And I mean, if you have a whole team, and if you can take that time, and we had a guest on, I think was it Michael a few weeks ago, Scott, that was talking about timing and posting and things like that. And he was watching a lot of it. And if you have a team that you can do that and you can really get into the times and the posts, and Danny, you've played around with that too, because there is relevance to the time, to what the content is. But honestly, for most people that are professionals, it's like, here's what I want. I want you to record a video and I want you to get it out there and I want people to see it. Period. So figure out how to do that. And then stick with it. You know, I had a conversation with someone this morning who had started doing video, wasn't really good about doing it consistently. The message was pretty inconsistent. And she's like, it doesn't work. It takes too much time. And it's like, okay, first of all, you've been at it for 4 months. Second of all, you're not really listening to the plan. And the plan is be specific, teach them, because you said that, right? And you learn things on TikTok. People, and you can mix in some of the dancing videos, but you know what? If you're a dance instructor, do dancing videos. If you're Paula Abdul, do dancing videos.
Yeah.
If you're not a dancer, don't do dancing videos.
You crushed me. I was getting ready to do my dancing video.
Now I will tell you,
it.
Danny can get away with the dancing videos because Danny is hip and cool and handsome and all those kind of things. So he does some really good ones like that, but that's not all he does, right? I mean, you have fun with it and you find the trends and things like that. So how important are the trends, Danny?
So I try to go 80-20. That's my rule. So usually the trends sometimes are good to when you don't have like enough ideas to develop a content. You are not in that mood, but you want to stay top of mind with one story or things like that. Yeah, I share a trend, and sometimes people laugh and you start having more emotional connection with other persons. So, but right now I have been pounding on more on content, value content, niching down, practicing a lot with hooks and ways that are emotionally driven to captivate more audience. Because on the short content and even in the long content, we can have the most important value information for the consumer, but you have to keep in mind that right now there's a lot of noise out there in social media, right? So you need to stand out. So the most important things is that first 2 seconds when we are talking about short content, first 2 seconds you have to have a clear message on that video, so that people can stop and grab their attention into the video instead of being scrolled up. So I have been very strategic in that part, because if you can have the best content, but if you are not smart and strategic, you can be losing a lot of followers, or that at the end of the day, those people are going to be giving you money, right? Because that's why we want to be out there. So talking about that, you know, we have seen that I think that 95% of our behavior when we purchase something is driven by emotion. And then we justify that with logic.
Right.
So you have to keep that in mind when we are doing videos. So like I have been, and that's why you see on YouTube, you have seen the thumbnails, that you have seen like the thumbnails, like people like they create like this fear, or it's not fear, it's desire. So that's the thing that you have to be keep in mind when you are posting. So, or benefit driven, or you have to use a title that is with fresh content. It is targeting or desire or ambition, something that people is going to be saving time. You have to keep in mind if what make them up at night. So you have to keep all those things when you are doing, because you are going to have more reach, and this is a numbers game, right? So the more videos, the more likes, the more shares, that's the ripple effect. That's the beauty about video.
So how are you finding your, oh, go ahead, Scott.
No, I would just say, all I wanted to add is it's a numbers game and it's a consistency game above everything else, because people want to be able to count on getting more information, because they truly become interested in your personality and what you have to say. Right. So it's the consistency. That's one of the most important parts of content.
Hey, let me add something very quick here. The other day, I said I had this borrower, realtor, that was asking me about multifamily properties, right? And I said, like, well, that's a good question. Here in Florida, and everyone wants a multifamily right now, right? But the problem is the prices are very high. So I said, like, let me see the guidelines. Let me look up the guidelines. And I started looking on Google, and I found Scott Schang talking about multifamilies FHA. Hey, and I did a video. But thanks for your video, because I learned so much. I prefer to watch your video instead of reading the guidelines, right? So that's another idea, not just for us go to straight to the consumer direct, but people that have teams should consider to have a video benefit package for their employees. Because now, if you call me and I have watched your video and you want to recruit me, it's going to be easier. We're going to have an easier conversation because I already like, know, and trust you.
Yep. Love that.
And people miss that. And that's such a valid point as far as building relationships, getting to know people. Yes, video is good for educating. Yes, video is good for being able to make the connection for the consumer direct. But on the other side, that other side, as far as if you're being recruited or if you are recruiting as a company, like you say, you can build a relationship through video by having your executive team on there, by talking about culture and all those things. And a lot of people miss that. So very, very important. So I want to go back to, you talk about hooks and talk about, two things. Number one, the hook. And so my first question is, how do you decide what hook you're going to use for your video? What's your process?
It all depends on the content that I want to offer. So last night I was posting a video regarding what lenders, if you are self-employed, how do we analyze your income? And I use a green screen of the Schedule C from the IRS, and I started my video like the label was if you are waiting for a housing crash, watch this. And below I had like if you work self-employed, 1099, blah blah blah. So I was talking, the content was like, first, market crash, like it's something housing crash that I know that is a trending world. So the other thing is that the content was like, okay, if you are the one that are waiting for the market to crash or interest rates to drop, you need to watch this, because if you are not prepared, you are gonna miss the bus. Okay, and I started talking about how do we calculate income when it's a self-employed, and that video exploded. But I know that I used the strategy. I had my label, a something that is trending right now, an important topic that people have to stop on that first 2 seconds and start watching my video. And I had a lot of momentum, shares, comments, so things like that is what I'm trying to do. And I have learned it from looking for other videos, because I'm on the computer doing my thing, and I watch a notification of a YouTube video that someone that I like and I follow posted, and it's like, let me do it. Let me go and watch it, because of the title. So yeah.
Well, and that's it, getting ideas. And it doesn't have to be ideas from in the mortgage or real estate industry. You can see ideas from other industries as far as what people are doing. So being a good student, and Danny, you've always been such a great student, is important, because things are always changing, and being that good student makes you also a good teacher. And so when you combine that, being a good student makes you a good teacher, and being a good teacher makes you do good videos. And that's what you want to do to get in front of people. And even though you're doing the videos for consumers, you have a lot of realtors who call you. In fact, the conversation you and I had a couple months ago is like, I don't call realtors, they call me. So
Correct.
when did
Yeah.
you see that switch happen for you?
Well, educating, when you are educating out there and you're, hey, real estate agents, they use TikTok, they use Instagram, they use Facebook. So they are consuming information. And when you are doing, being consistent on video and talking about new programs, they want to educate themselves in some specific, they have questions as well. So they start calling me, hey, I need to call you. I think that I have a client that will need you because you mentioned that program. So I start receiving calls. Now I have, yesterday, I just originated a file from a real estate agent from South Florida that I was talking about condos, and she specializes on condos. So she referred me this client, is under contract. So those kind of things. And at the same time, when I post on social media, I use most of those videos and I send them through text to my real estate agents. If there's a new program, here's the new program that we have, and watch the video. So I repurpose all this content for everything. Or if I have a borrower that is calling me, hey Danny, I have this question and I don't have the time, I just copy the video and I send the link through BombBomb or something, and done.
Yeah. And YouTube gives you, so here's the other thing I love about YouTube. And if you're making videos for TikTok, you can save those as shorts, you can put them onto YouTube. And YouTube will allow you to share those easier. It's harder with shorts, I know. I think you have to grab the link in a different way, but it gives you a way to be able to, if you're talking to a real estate agent and they say, hey, I've got a condo, you can go, oh, I did that. Here's a library. So instead of searching through TikTok, right, you can do that. Do you organize? So here's a question I have. When you record, and you're recording just from your phone, so, and I know you ended up getting a camera, but you kind of stopped using the camera and went back to your phone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so. If the excuse is that you don't have enough time, hey, if you don't have enough time, the best way is to do shorts with your cell phone. That's the best way you can do it, because you hey, and it's so easy. It's like right now we as loan officers, we are already providing the education and doing the content with interviewing our clients. The only difference is that when you are doing it through video, you are through a lens of the camera, but it's the same that you are already doing. So I don't know why they complain some more about times and other things. Hey, you have to do it, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought the camera and I'm not using it.
Can I ask a question real quick, Danny? And this is me being the student. We've been saying TikTok, you say YouTube's the premier. I find less people in our world are on TikTok. So A, why are you using TikTok so much? And what makes that a strong platform to use? Is it because nobody else is there and therefore you're standing out because you don't have competition? Or no, it has these other three benefits? Why TikTok?
Well, I will say that if with my consistency and discipline and passion about education, in any other platform, I will be doing good. So I'm just doing TikTok because there is where I started. Honestly, Instagram, in the first days of Instagram, the picture thing, it was not my thing. Now it has evolved, but I just keep in my mind that that image, and I don't like to go to Instagram. I just started doing TikTok. I had a bit of success, let's say like that, and I feel like, wow, I found the key to success in the mortgage industry, because even in this market, I am not like, I'm still closing seven units each month. I feel I don't have to go to do launch and learns. I work from home. I work from home from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. close, spend time with my family. I pay all my bills, I save, I invest with all I have been learning through TikTok. so it's good for me. So what I want to do to create more business, be in more platforms, start sharing more content. It's a numbers game, and I have been following other guys like Alex Hormozy, and that's what they are sharing, that you need to, if you want more, continue posting more. That easy, and it's not like a hard work for me because we get this question, this content every single day. Sometimes I have to ask things to the underwriter. So if I have to ask something to the underwriter because I don't know, that's a great opportunity to create one more video about a thing that I learned. So it is easy.
Thank you.
Well, and
The
having that
TikTok algorithm
consistency.
Yeah, and the TikTok algorithm is just above and beyond anything else. Like that's where they nailed it. Their algorithm is really, really good at getting you in front of people and making it
Especially
really
by
easy to build
geo, because
audiences.
I think that's the thing that I've noticed with TikTok is it's very much geographically driven. And Steve, because Danny does to consumer, whereas you and I and Scott are doing more B2B, that consumer for him is very targeted. When he first started, and again, I was of the same, it's like, I don't think that's your market. It's very young. But what he found is it is much older. It is heavier on female side. I don't know what your numbers are running right now, but I think the age that you were looking at for a while, the average age was honestly between what, 45 and 54. It was
Yeah,
much
most
older
of the
for a
calls
female.
went from 45 and 55. Let's call it like that. Yeah.
And are most of your videos in Spanish still?
Yeah.
That's my
Part of
my
your
main
niche.
audience. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
niche is
Yep.
Hispanic.
And
So-
that's consistent across all social media, across everything, is when you can niche and
Mhm.
you can niche in something that you're comfortable in and you're like that's your genius zone, like doing these short form videos in your native language. And like it's beautiful. Everybody thinks, oh, I need to be everywhere so that I can get access to everyone. No, you just need to be the most important person for that small audience that is going to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, let me add this very quick. Another thing is that when you find a video that performs well, and TikTok, to promote that video, I understand that it's cheap and it's very effective. Like I have seen some video that I had that I started promoting them, and I don't have to record any more videos for that week if I don't want, and I still have my calendar full with
Wow.
appointments already scheduled in my calendar due to that video that performs well. So that's another beauty about video. Now you can be a celebrity as Michael Jackson and have your own CD, right? So it's the same. It's the same with video.
The follow-up too. So let's talk a little bit about that, because it's not just having the video out there. It's not just following the trends. It's not just having the good call to action and the hook, but it's also making it easy for them to get in touch with you. And so many times I go onto social media and there's nothing as far as about, there's no website, there's no, LinkedIn, there's a link tree, there's no calendar. So walk me through what your process is, Danny. So you post a video. How easy is it for someone to say, hey, I want to talk to Danny?
Yeah, it's very easy. I use the call to action, not in all videos, but here and there, I try to insert the call to action because I just don't want to educate people. So then they go to Scott and close the deal with Scott. I want them to close the deal with me. So the call to action is very important, and you have to give very precise instructions. If you want to reach out more information, you go to my link. You're going to see on my profile on the top, click there, book an appointment, and we will be talking shortly. And sometimes in the same comments, I include my phone number. Hey, if you want to reach out to me, this is my phone number. I try to make it easy as possible on that.
Yeah, and on your, so what Danny has, he has a link tree, and a link tree is just a link that aggregates all of your content. So it'll have your calendar link, it'll have your website, and I strongly encourage you, do not use your apply now as your first step, because they are not ready to apply now. It's like going into the doctor and saying, I want surgery. You don't start there. So
Yeah.
it's important for them, and for you, your biggest thing is you saw the appointments, is that people would book an appointment before they will pick up the phone. And you think about it, if you're a professional, I don't call my dentist and expect him to answer the phone and I'm going to talk to him. I know I'm going to book an appointment. I know it's going to be planned. And in that appointment, have a follow-up. Let them know this is the agenda. This is what we're going to do. This is probably the paperwork. It's one of those things that I think when we act like a professional that we are, then people will treat us like the professional that we are.
Yeah.
So, and we are at the top of the hour. We could talk on and on and on and on and on. And Danny, thank you so much. I always love our conversations. You are such a great share. And if you want a copy of Danny's book, you can go onto Amazon. It is called TikTok for Mortgage and Real Estate Professionals. And Danny went through it step by step by step. Honestly, if you pick that up and you follow the steps, you can do your TikTok videos. And that was your goal when you wrote the book and wanted to share that.
Yep. Straight from the heart.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Great job, Danny. So awesome.
You guys, thank you. Good to see
Very
you.
good. Okay, so we are off for a long weekend. We are at the end of summer. It's hard to believe, Labor Day weekend. And I think the consensus is we are meeting next Wednesday. Scott is going to do a conversation on AI. I think it's the 3 things to train your chatbot. Is that right?
Yeah. Mortgage marketing GPT, 3 ways to teach your chatbot about mortgages.
There you go. I love it.
Awesome.
So make sure and join in for next week. I, my friends, will not be here. I will be on a cruise to Alaska. So I look forward to seeing that. And I'll see you the following week. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.